Everyone. I'm as excited as everyone combined, believe me. This has been in the works for quite a few months, and I'm going to reveal a lot of information about my methods to you guys that I haven't revealed to anyone else before. So you're kind of getting first crack at it here. I have strengths and weaknesses, just like all of you. My strengths are in scaling and efficiency. My merchant score is like a -25. So all of the stuff that you just heard and went over with exactly how to respond in difficult situations, I'm adequate at that, but honestly, that's not my strength. My strength is in saving you time and money and doing things quicker. In my experience, there's two major benefits for learning how to do things more efficiently. You can either spend less time working and thus more time doing other things in life, or it gives you the option to do more business. So what I'm going to go over with you today is kind of the systems that I've built and created that will allow you to accomplish either one of those things. I don't know what, everyone has different goals in the business, but if you want to do more business, it will allow you to do that. If you want to do the same amount of business with less time, it will allow you to do that. So I'm really excited to kind of share with you what I have. I grew up in the Bay Area in California. I started in the business out there in Dan Casetta's division. And my favorite football team growing up was the 49ers. Are there any 49er fans? Woo! Go Niners. Okay. Trivia question. Why are the 49ers called the 49ers?
Gold Rush.
Yes. Thank you, Jake. Right, 1849, there was a gold rush. 1848, gold was discovered, right? Eureka. And then 1849, everyone moved out west for the gold rush. And when we're recruiting through Facebook, to me, that's what it's like. It's like digging for gold. Now, there are a couple of different principles when you're digging for gold. You can't dig in every patch of dirt and create gold, right? But through your effort, if you dig in enough patches of dirt, you'll find gold. And that's what we're doing here. It's an important mentality to have. We can't take every conversation and convert it to a 10K fast starter. We can't take every conversation and convert it to a launch. We can't take every conversation and convert it to an application. But what we can do is have as many conversations as possible, as quickly as possible, so that we're able to mine gold that way. Does that concept make sense to everyone? Yeah. Because I know sometimes it's hard, like when we're doing something, especially when we're doing something new, and we're on kind of like a roller coaster and up and down, and so I had a conversation with someone filled in an app. I haven't received any apps in the last 350 messages that I sent, right? It's a roller coaster, up and down. So it's important to realize what you have control over and what you don't. And I'm sorry to say, you can't create gold from every conversation, right? That's just not the way it works. But what you can do is focus on the right fundamentals and processes to make it the most efficient and to contact most people as possible. So that's my mentality when going through this, and you'll see that my kind of systems match that. Before we get into the live responding, I just want to go through some basic stats for this Facebook kind of messaging process. The first stat is going to be your message to response percentage. That is, how many messages do you have to send to get one person to respond to the message? It could be a positive or negative response, but and that is about 3 to 1. In other words, actually, I don't want to use a ratio. I want to use a percentage. It'll be 25 to 30% responses. So in other words, if we send 100 messages on your account, you can expect between 25 and 30 responses. Will that happen every day? No, but throughout the course of sending thousands of messages, right, that's where kind of the high point of the normal curve will be. 25 to 30 responses for every 100 messages. If you send 200 messages, right, that would be 50 to 60 responses. Now, not every response will come in right away. Most will. About 2/3 will come in, within about, I don't know, half an hour or 45 minutes after sending, and the rest will trickle in throughout the day. And also, not every response will be positive, right? This is just total responses. So 25 to 30. The next percentage I want to talk about is the message to application percentage. That is, how many messages you need to send for people to fill out the application on your Google form. For this one, I will use a ratio. I'm going back and forth, but we'll figure it out. So the company average for the number of messages to receive one application is 20. So for every 20 messages you send, you'll, on average, company average, receive one application, right? Which is about 5%. In my opinion, you should be happy if it's 30 to 1 or less. In other words, to send 30 messages and receive one application is acceptable. You can still run your Facebook business that way, profitably. Anything higher than 30 to 1 over the course of thousands of messages, there's probably some tweaking that we can do in between the messaging and the application. So to break that down, some tweaks that we could that maybe need to be made would be with the responding, right? Maybe you're not responding as quickly as you can. Maybe the messages that you're sending as responses aren't the best they could be. Maybe there's something wrong with your Google, not wrong, excuse me. Maybe there's something that could be improved with your Google form, right? That's causing people not to go to the Google form, but not fill out applications. So by knowing your message to application ratio, you can now assess these different parts of that process, which may be faltering in your business. Does all that make sense?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay, good. So, right. So this allows you to manage this program but you have to know the message to app ratio in order to manage your program effectively. And the last stat, which is probably the most important, is the message to launch, right? How many messages do you send to launch one rep? And, I know that we've heard a lot of numbers having to do with the message to launch ratio. In my opinion, if you're at 300 to 1, it's adequate. 200 to 1 should be the goal. And anything less than 200 to 1, and frankly, you're crushing it. You know that feeling when you're getting over a cold and you get halfway through your welcome talk and you can feel your throat just about to go? That's where I am right now. Okay. So message to launch, right? We'll know how many messages we send, and we'll know how many launches we have from the program. So at the end of the summer, the end of the program, you'll be able to assess how everything did with the program, of course, overall based on the message to launch ratio.